Chapter 11, Focused. When my alarm goes off in the morning, I check my phone. There are no missed calls or texts from Red. I know I said he didn't have to call me back, but I sort of thought he would anyway, because we've had a fight. We've never had a fight that went into the next day. It's weird that I'm going to start taking medicine for ADHD, and Red doesn't even know. The kitchen's warmer than the rest of the house. Mom has made a feast of my favorite foods: blueberry pancakes, smoothies, scrambled eggs, and crispy hash browns. Can we please have this every day? Henley points to her plate. It's fancy, like at a hotel. Pretty please. Maybe. Mom smiles and kisses the top of her head. Then she sits down next to me and rubs my back with her hand as I finish the last of my strawberry and banana smoothie. The medicine's going to start working quickly, and it will last all day. Remember, you might not be hungry, at least for the first few weeks, but it's important for you to try to eat as much as you can. Your brain needs nutrition to learn. I haven't even taken the pill yet, and I'm already nervous and not that hungry. I'm scared, I say softly. I know, honey, but try not to worry. It's going to help, Mom says. She holds out a glass of orange juice and a small blue capsule. I put the pill on my tongue, take a sip of juice, and swallow. It tastes sweet and hopeful and like everything's going to get better. By the time I get to school, my mouth is dry, like I've been eating peanut butter and cotton. It doesn't matter how much water I drink. There isn't enough to unclog my throat, and I'm queasy and carsick from the short ride. Red isn't waiting for me at our bench, and I guess it's not our bench anymore because he's never there. He's on the other side of the courtyard, and even though I'm pretty sure he's waiting for Dylan and not me, I walk over to him. Only as soon as I'm standing next to him, I have no clue what to say, and out of nowhere, he feels far away. Like there's this giant balloon between us, and I'm realizing for the first time it's been there for a while, getting bigger and pushing us further apart. And now that I know it's there, all I want to do is pop it, so everything can go back to normal and we can be best friends again, the way we were before this year. I'm sorry, I say again. You should be. He looks at the parking lot and the building and the people in front of us, everywhere but me. I didn't mean to say all those things out loud or make it harder for you. I get you feel bad and you didn't mean to freak out, but it doesn't matter, because that's exactly what you did and you do it all the time. I'm about to interrupt because I don't do it that often, but I bite down on my lip instead. You blurt things out, and I get that you're trying to defend me, but I didn't want people to know about the baby, and you knew that. I don't want to keep reminding everyone that my family is a mess. I need school to be normal because the rest of my life is really bad. I know, I'm sorry, I say. I won't do it ever again, I promise. Don't. It's just the way you are. You've always been like that, and it never mattered before because nothing in my life was that big of a deal. So if you told people something I didn't want them to know, I didn't care that much. But it's different now. I'm different, and you're the same. My heart is pounding so hard against my chest, I want to scream, because everything Red just said is true. I take a deep breath. I'm going to be different, starting today, really. How? He asked, like he definitely doesn't believe me. I started taking medicine for ADHD, so I'm going to be in control from now on, I swear. I try to think of something important to swear on, because I need him to trust me. Best friends trust each other. On Henley. Oh, he sounds surprised, and maybe a little sad that there's something about me he doesn't know, because I didn't tell him. When did you start taking medicine? Today, I said. My parents and the doctor think it's definitely going to help. Okay, but I don't get what blurting stuff out has to do with ADHD, he said. I guess the same part of your brain that controls attention is in charge of emotions too, and I need extra help not saying everything I'm thinking. I didn't know that, he says. What's it like so far? I'm really thirsty. I take a sip from my water bottle, but I think it might be working because what you said, all that stuff about how I blurt things out, I didn't interrupt you or say anything. I'm pretty sure that's not how I usually act. Wow, he says, I didn't think of that, but you're right. Yeah, it's definitely working, I say, because I need that to be true, and not just because of school and chess, but because everything Red said about me before is right and real, and I wish it weren't. I don't want to be the kind of friend who makes things harder when they're already bad. I want to be someone he can trust. Just don't do it anymore, okay? Okay, I say, I'm not going to act like that ever again. When I get to English, I slide into my empty desk in the front row next to Sanam. My stomach is cramping and my head's pounding. I pick up my water bottle and drink as much as I can. Take one and pass it on, Mr. Lee says, and hands me a stack of tests. I put one on my desk, turn around, and give the pile to Quinn. I write my name on the top of the page. The test is thick. The flimsy staple can barely hold the pages together. You have 30 minutes to finish, Mr. Lee says. Good luck. I do my best to concentrate on the problem in front of me, instead of worrying about all the questions I have to answer before time's up. It feels a little like a switch has been flipped, like all the teeny tiny sounds and smells and movements that would normally pull my attention away have disappeared. But my stomach hurts like it's empty, only it's not. I ignore the pain. I read the next word, sanguine, and start writing down the definition. Noun, a blood red color. Adjective. I know this. I do. I'm ready. I practice this one a lot. I try as hard as I can to remember, except between my head and stomach, I feel like I might puke up the big breakfast I ate all over my desk. The answer will come to me. I just need to move on to the next one for now. Vapid. Adjective. Bland, offering nothing stimulating. I scribble the definition from memory. Example sentence. Some people love baseball, but I think sports are vapid. The words are making me queasy. I lift my head up, hoping to feel better, but it's worse. I'm dizzy and nauseous. I look back down at my test. The medicine is helping me focus. It's working right now. I need to stop making excuses. By the time Mr. Lee says 5 more minutes, I'm still on the first page. I flip through the test and scan the other words. Diminutive, imminent, abate, incredulous, mirth, palliation, semblance, and taciturn. I know all of them. I studied so hard, but I'm never going to get through the rest of the questions in less than 5 minutes. I go back to the top of the page and try to use sanguine in a sentence. It doesn't matter that my hand is shaking like I'm nervous, even though I'm not, and my writing is barely legible. I force myself to at least try to finish. That's time, Mr. Lee says, pencils down. As soon as I drop mine, I remember the other definition for sanguine, optimistic in a bad situation. Mr. Lee walks around the room and collects our tests. Most of mine is blank. It's bad. I did everything Miss Curtis said to do and took medicine. Everything's supposed to be better now, but I still got distracted and messed up because my stomach hurt. And I'm me. My ADHD wasn't even a problem. I didn't get distracted or stuck when I couldn't remember sanguine. I moved on and kept going. That part felt good. I don't want to lie to Mr. Lee, and I don't want to tell him that I didn't finish in front of everyone in class and that I need more time. They don't need to know, and I'm pretty sure more time won't help me anyway. Nothing will. I try to pay attention and act like I did totally fine because my problems are supposed to be gone, or at least smaller, now that I can focus, except school feels exactly the same as always. Impossible. When I get to math, I hold the balloon in one hand on my desk and take notes with the other, looking up at the board every few seconds. I remind myself to listen and write down what I need to remember. I squeeze, listen, and write over and over until I fall into a rhythm. I'm so focused on taking notes that I don't notice the bell ring or everyone start to pack up and leave. When I'm finished copying everything into my notebook, I realize I'm alone except for Miss Pumi. I grab my backpack and walk down the mostly deserted hall towards science. I'm not hungry for lunch like Mom said, but I have to find a way to eat because I need energy for chess if I want to win today. Dylan's at our table again with Red, but this time it doesn't feel like a bad thing because when I sit down, he pulls a chess book out of his backpack, slides it over to me, and says, "You can keep it for as long as you want." I look down at the cover. "This is perfect, thanks," I grin. He smiles back at me, showing off both dimples. He's so cute. Let me know if you want to talk strategies. "'Kay," I nodded and looked away, trying to act chill and like whatever, since I don't want to make it obvious to anyone, especially not Dylan or Red, that on the inside I'm jumping up and down because he remembered. I eat part of my lunch, make it through my next few classes, and by the time I get to chess, my stomach and head both feel much better. I'm playing white, which is good news for me, but I'm paired against Sanam, which is horrible because she's hard to beat. The whole time we're sitting across from each other waiting for practice to start, I want to tell Sanam that I think I failed my English test and I probably won't be allowed to come to chess after today, unless I can find some magical way to fix my grade. But I don't say anything. Not now. I need to block it out and focus on playing my best. I'm back in the chess tunnel where it's quiet and safe. By the time we get to the endgame, Sanam moves her black king up one square on the diagonal, giving me a clear path to promotion. My pawn's only a few squares away from turning into a big, powerful queen. It's not the huge risk Dylan was talking about, but winning will help me turn things around. I'll be one step closer to proving to Mr. Lee that I belong in the advanced group at camp, if I still get to go to camp. I take a sip of water and look around the board, laser focused in search of my enemy pawns. Sanam has one on A5, but it can't move backwards to capture me, so I'm good. That's it. I got this. I'm about to crush this game and win. I slide my piece up one square and tap the clock. Sanam picks up her king and moves it right back where it came from, knocking out my soon-to-be promoted pawn. No, what's wrong with me? I know the king can move in any direction. I was so focused on the stupid pawns, I completely forgot to notice everything else that was happening around me. Now all I want to do is rewind, look at the whole board, and make a different choice so I can win. Sanam and I shake hands, but neither of us says good game because it wasn't. I lost and she won because I was distracted. The only good part is we don't have to pretend everything's fine when it's not. Mr. Lee stops on the way out of practice. Stops me. "Can you come by tomorrow before first period? I'd like to check in with you about your test." I think about asking if we can talk now, but I don't want anyone else to hear Mr. Lee is going to say to me, and I guess I don't really want to hear my grade, because as soon as he says it out loud or writes it down on the top of my test, it'll be real. So I nod and walk down the hall into the bathroom. When the bell rings, everyone rushes out to dismissal. I wait a few minutes until the hallway's quiet and almost empty before I walk outside into the crisp air. Red is sitting on our bench in the courtyard waiting for me. Sorry, my mom's late again, he says. It's her new thing. That's annoying, I say. We should totally watch that Bobby Fischer movie on Friday. It's the first thing that pops into my head. Can't. I have plans. Really? What are you doing? I ask. Going downtown after school with Quinn and a bunch of other chess peeps. I don't know what time that will be over, so he says it like it's no big deal that he made a whole group plan without me. Since when do you hang out with Quinn? It's like a pre-tournament thing for the top 12. She organized it. I didn't think you'd want to come since you're not anymore. I do. My words taste as desperate as they sound. Really? I mean, I guess you can if you want to. It's a free country. My neck feels hot, and I really hope I'm not turning red, because I don't want him to know how much it hurts. Everything I'm feeling and thinking is spinning around inside me like a tornado, threatening to come pouring out, and I can't let that happen. So are we not doing movie night anymore? I try to sound chill and totally relaxed, like it's cool with me either way. It's kind of tired, don't you think? Not really, I say. Well, I do, so yeah, I think we shouldn't do it anymore. I keep waiting for him to realize how mean he sounds and take it back, but he doesn't, and it feels like I'm the only one who even cares if we're best friends. What's your problem, I ask. Nothing, he says. That's such a lie. Just tell me. Why, so you can go around blurting it out to everyone in the entire school? No thanks, I'm good. I won't, I swear. I just don't believe you, he said. You can't be different. But you said, I changed my mind. I'm done. I can't deal with this anymore. You can't do that, I shout before I can stop myself. Great meds, they're really working. Oh, wait, nope. You're already freaking out again. I'm not. Just give me one more chance. You have to. Stop, you're embarrassing, and I'm sorry if that's mean or the wrong thing to say or whatever, but people don't just forget, Clea. They talk about you when you're not there. Everyone thinks you're the reason we never play human chess and practice anymore, and I always make excuses for you, but I'm done. I can't deal with it. Before I have a chance to say anything else, Red's mom pulls up. He turns around and walks away from me. I follow him to the car because it's not like I have a choice. His mom's driving me home. I climb into the back seat and force myself to smile at Mrs. Levin. Then I look down at my glittery gold sneakers until we get to my house. Mom and Henley aren't home yet. Hilda doesn't run over and start barking at me. I look around for her, but she isn't anywhere. She must be with them, which is weird. I grab a snack, go to my room, and start my homework. I use Miss Curtis's strategies, even though part of me feels like giving up. I know doing well in school is the only way I'm going to be able to stay on the team. I'm about halfway done with history when there's a knock on my door. Come in, I say, even though I don't want to talk anymore. Not even Henley. Mom walks in and sits down next to me on my bed. How did everything go today with the medication? I shrug. Not great. Tell me what happened. I felt different. I fidgeted with my sand-filled balloon in my hands, but it didn't actually help me in school. I had a stomach ache during my English test, and I couldn't focus at all. Sorry, Mom rubs my shoulder. Was your stomach upset all day? Not really, just in the morning. She nods and makes a face like she feels sad for me. Dr. Gold said that could happen at first. Seriously, the medicine I took helped me focus, gave me a stomach ache that made it impossible for me to focus. That's so stupid. I know it's frustrating. I'll call Dr. Gold to see if there's anything we can do to help with the discomfort. If it happens again tomorrow, please go to the nurse and have her call me. Mom says it's going to take time for you to get used to the medicine. How long? I asked. I'm not sure. Great, I say back. Try to be patient. It'll be okay. How? My voice seems too loud. Things are supposed to be different, and I basically handed in a blank test and yelled at Red, so everything is exactly the same. We'll work it out. We'll work out the right plan, I promise. I don't believe her, only I don't say that because talking about things that they're going to get better when everything keeps getting worse isn't helping. It makes me think maybe Red's right and I can't change. And I'm afraid no matter what I do or how hard I try, I can't be a better friend to him or anyone. And that school is always going to be like this for me. I know it's early, but will you take a break and eat dinner with us now? I need to finish history and Spanish first. It's just, your sister had a tough day. We had an emergency speech appointment this afternoon because Henley peed her pants in the middle of class. She couldn't ask to use the bathroom. Did anyone notice, I ask, even though I'm pretty sure I already know the answer. What do you think? Mom tilts her head. I don't pause for a second to think. I stand up and walk out of my room, even though I'm mad at Mom and Dad and Dr. Gold and Miss Curtis and everyone who said they would help make things better for me when they can't. Right now, Henley does need me to be there for her, and I don't want her to be alone. I sit down at the kitchen table. Henley doesn't look up at me. She keeps her eyes on the plate in front of her. I inch my chair closer to hers and wrap my arms around her. She folds into me. I run my fingers through her soft hair. Hilda is sprawled out under Henley's chair, like she knows something's wrong and her job is to stay as close as possible. It's okay, I whisper in her ear. She shakes her head. You're not the only one, I say, because when bad things happen to me, it always helps me to hear I'm not alone. I am. How do you know? The Ellie said. They're wrong. Trust me, I'm older, I know. I say, you peed too? She looks up at me. No, but I've done a lot of embarrassing things that made me wish I were someone else. Henley shuts her eyes and drops her head and leans into me. The important thing is, you feel like you can ask what you need so it doesn't keep happening. As soon as I say it, I know it's true. I just wish I knew when to ask I wish I knew what to ask for to make things better for myself. She looks up at me like she's thinking about what I said. I'll try, she nods. It's really hard. I know. I pull her closer. I'm proud of you for trying to do things that are hard for you. Thanks, she says. Me too. Want to watch a show in the room while I finish my homework? We can eat dinner upstairs. She looks up at me and smiles, then shakes her head. We can't, and points to Mom. I'm about to say that I'll handle Mom, but I stop myself. Try asking, I whisper to Henley. Even though I just want to make everything easier and do it for her, I know I'm hurting her when I do that. Henley's big blue eyes widen like she can't believe me, and can't really either, but I nod. It's what I need to do, even if it's hard for me. I take her hand in mine and squeeze because I want her to know she's not alone, even if she has to do it by herself. Can we please? She looks at the floor. Please? She squeezes my hand back. Mom takes a deep breath like she's trying not to interrupt. Can we finish dinner in Clea's room? Mom grins at Henley. Of course, I'm glad you asked. Henley smiles back. Mom looks at me and I can tell she's proud and that I helped in a different, more important way, in the way that Henley actually needs. After Henley and Hilda go to sleep, I'm done with all my homework. I take out the chess book Dylan let me borrow, because I want to start reading about the strategies that are going to help me impress Mr. Lee. There's a piece of scrap paper tucked into the first page, folded twice. I almost throw it away, but then I open it just in case, which is really good, because it turns out it's a note from me, from Dylan. I hope this book helps you make the top 12. Text me if you want to talk tactics. From Dylan. P.S. You can do it. Smiley face. I reread Dylan's note again because I'm afraid that I read it too fast or wrong the first time, and maybe it's not actually as nice as I think. But it is. He also wrote down his number. I save it, but then I get nervous I'm going to text him by accident, and he'll know I like him, and I don't want to make it obvious how I feel unless he definitely likes me back. But I can't stop thinking about the fact that his number's permanently saved in my phone. It feels big. 12. Chapter 12. I'm getting ready for school and my phone starts buzzing. Oh, I hope it's Red, texting to say he's sorry and he actually wants to be friends again. But it's Santa. Are we going downtown on Friday? Do you think it's weird if I go? I write back. Red sort of said it was. No way, he's being weird. But it's just for the top 12. I think it's the whole team, or like anyone who wants to hang out after school, she replies. I didn't play last week and I'm going, if you are. Yes, let's go together. Done. P.S. My mom can tote drive for us. When I get to school, I go straight to Mr. Lee's room. My stomach aches, turning out my breakfast as he shuffles through the stack of papers. I'm not going to think about what's coming next. I stay focused on Mr. Lee's secret t-shirt, which says, Into the Woods, until he finds my test in the middle of the pile and puts it on the desk in front of me. There's a big blue F at the top of the page. My throat goes dry from feeling it's closing up. It doesn't matter. I knew the grade was going to be bad. Being prepared doesn't make failing any easier. I need to say something to convince him I deserve another chance, or I won't be able to play chess. I studied a lot, I swear. I knew all the answers, but I started taking medicine yesterday because I have ADHD. It really hurt my stomach, and before I knew it, class was over and I didn't get a chance to finish. If I can retake the test at lunch, I'll do a lot better. I know I will. My stomach doesn't hurt as much today. I hold my breath and cross my fingers, because even though I'm not sure I can actually do any better, if he gives me another chance, I need to at least try. Mr. Lee sits down in the chair next to me and folds his arms across his chest like he's thinking hard about what I said. I understand that you were in a difficult position. The problem for me is that you know if you don't feel well during class, you can tell me and go to the nurse, and then I can let you retake the test. And I know ADHD is new to you, but Miss Curtis explained that you're allowed to have extra time if you ask. If you were feeling up to taking the test, all you had to do was tell me, and I would have absolutely made sure you had enough time. That's one of your accommodations. I know I messed up. My voice sounds strained. Please just give me one more chance. I'm sorry, but I can't make an exception this time. No, that's not fair. What about chess? I asked. You'll have to sit out and attend study hall until you get your grade back up to a C, but I know you will, he says. The good news is you have a paper due Monday, which is worth as much as this test, and what I can do is read yours and give it back to you by the end of the school day. That way, if you get a B or higher, you'll be able to pick up where you left off at practice on Tuesday. This is probably not what you want to hear, but missing the tournament will give you time over the weekend to hand in your best work. I know you can do an excellent job, and then you'll be right back to playing chess. My chest tightens. There's no way I'm going to be able to think about my paper while the rest of the team is at the tournament, working together to win. No, that's impossible. But I'm pretty sure nothing I say or do is ever going to change his mind, and I need Mr. Lee to read my paper right away because I want to be at practice on Tuesday and show him that I belong in the top 12. Okay, I say. I look forward to reading your essay. He picks up my test and walks over to his desk. The hallway is hot and crowded with happy, smiling people who didn't fail their English tests. I try not to cry, but everything looks blurry and a few tears trickle down my cheeks. I brush them away as fast as I can. Red's standing by his locker. For a second, I almost forget we're not best friends. But when he sees me, his eyes drop to the floor and he turns away. And then I remember we're not even people who say, "Hey, what's up?" We're nothing. Red starts talking to Vivi and smiling, like it's a regular day for him, and he doesn't even care or notice or miss me at all. He's happy he doesn't have to deal with me anymore. Everything I'm thinking and feeling is building up inside, and if I don't walk faster, it's all going to pour out, and I can't let that happen. So I cover my mouth, holding my words in, and walk past him, down the hall, long hall towards homeroom. There are a few people in class when I get there. I sit in the front row by the window. I'm itchy under my thin wool sweater. I try to think about anything other than Red and English and how badly I messed everything up, so I can breathe and be fine. But it feels like my brain is stuck, replaying all the things I did wrong in a loop. It's impossible to switch to a different channel. I close my eyes and force myself to focus on something happy and easy like Christmas. I think about our tree with its sparkling lights and huge white snowflake ornaments that look like shimmering pizzelles, and how Henley's face lights up when she watches the nutcracker turn into a prince until I can breathe. That's when I realized I stayed totally calm and in control, and even though it was only one time, I didn't blurt out everything I was thinking, which means I can do it again. I'm pretty sure if I practice, it'll get easier to be like that all the time. I'm a few minutes early to science, so there's no one in the lab when I get there, which is fine by me. I stare out the window watching the leaves and clouds. The next thing I know, Santa walks in and plops down at our table, dropping her bag and shoulders in one huff. I'm not sure I've ever seen her look like this, defeated and small. "I hate today," she says. "What happened?" I asked. "I'm never moving to France or Canada or St. Bart's or any place where people speak French, so I don't get the point of learning it." She slammed her test down on the table so I can see the C. I got everything right. I can finally spell in English most of the time, and now her eyes look glossy. She shakes her head and takes a deep breath, like she's pushing all the sadness back inside. "I'm sorry," I say, because even though I definitely trade my F for her C, I get how she feels, like she wants one thing to not be hard. "Makes you feel better? I failed my English test." "Wait, did you not end up taking medicine?" "I did, but it's not like fixing me. It hurt my stomach yesterday. That was basically the only thing I could think about during the test, and now I can't be on the team until I get my grade up." "What? Not okay." She sounds mad. "Fact. You just found out you have ADHD, you're doing everything they told you to do, and they're still taking chess away?" It feels good to hear Sanam say, "It's not what I deserve." "Well, not everything," I say. "I didn't ask for extra time, but that's because it wasn't going to help, and it's embarrassing." "You know extra help isn't just an ADHD thing, right? I mean, I get more time if I need it, and sometimes I do, especially if there's a lot of reading and writing, because it does help a lot. I know it feels like a big deal, but it's really not." I think about what she said. I guess I never noticed when other people asked for more time. "Exactly," she said. "What are you going to do about French?" I say. "I'm going to suck it up and talk to Miss Curtis and come up with a plan for the next test, aka what I always do." She rolls her eyes. "Plus I lied about not wanting to live in Tresbeck, French-speaking places. I love croissants." "I think I need to talk to Miss Curtis." "You should, it helps. I'm sick of everything being hard," I say. "I know, like right now, even though I'm annoyed about getting a C, it's mostly because I should have asked for help before the test. I just didn't feel like being me this week, but I know what I need to do to get an A, and you will too, trust me." I shake my head. "I'm not good at school or smart." "You don't really know that," she says. "I think that's the kind of thing that changes. Like right now, I'm the worst at French, but I'm good at everything else, and I wasn't always. I used to be bad at school because I couldn't read. So maybe I can be good at French too. I mean, considering that you didn't even know you had ADHD until like 5 seconds ago, I'm pretty sure you have no clue what you're good at." "That's true," I say. "The only way it won't work out for you is if you give up. So maybe don't do that." "I definitely won't." "Okay, good. I hate that I'm missing 2 practices an attorney." "Me too," she says, "but I'll text you live updates. It'll be like you're there. Plus, we're going downtown with the team on Friday." "I can't," I say. "You have to. Everyone thinks you're going. It'll be way worse if you don't show up." "I know you're right, but also Red's mad at me. I don't want to make it awkward for you because you know the secret. He'll probably be over it by then." I hope she's right. "We'll make it fun, I promise." She holds out our pinky. I wrap my little finger around her, squeezing tight. It feels like we're in on something together. I don't have anyone to sit with at lunch because Sanam has her tutor and Dylan's with Red, who hates me. Even if everything were fine with Red and he were missing lunch for some random reason, I would never just sit with Dylan in a cafeteria, unless I wanted everyone in the entire grade to know I like him, which I don't, so I go to the library between stacks of books. Even though I'm not hungry, I take out my PB&J because I need energy to get through the rest of the day. The hardest part about eating after I take my meds is the first bite. But I figure out if I put my food in my mouth and make myself try to eat, it gets easier because my body's actually hungry. It's just that my brain is busy with other things. Once I start eating, I have no problem finishing my sandwich, banana, and all my cherry-flavored seltzer. When it's time for practice, the rest of the team walks past the library and over to the multi-purpose room. I stay where I am for study hall. I try to use my time not playing chess to work on the outline for my English paper, but it's hard to think about anything other than what I'm missing, that I'm missing practice. After the bell rings at the end of the day, I go to Miss Curtis' office. Clea, how can I help you? I got an F on my English test, and I know you can't say I'm stupid because you're a teacher and that's not allowed or whatever, but that's how I feel, like an idiot. I can't keep getting Fs because then I won't be able to play chess, and it's the only thing I want to do, so I need your help not to fail. I want you to listen to me carefully, Clea. Miss Curtis's voice is soft and calm, like always. When I look at you, I see a hardworking student who's capable and talented, who I know can excel in every subject. And I know that because you're giving school everything you've got, even though it's hard and frustrating and it feels unfair, then why isn't it working? It will, she says. ADHD is part of who you are and everything you do. It's how you process the world around you. It's going to take time to figure out how to manage your symptoms and make sure they're not getting in your way. And I know how hard that must be when you want everything to be fixed right now. But I think you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. I'm not. I don't let her finish. I got an F on my English test. That's really bad no matter how you look at it. I need to stop messing up. This is the time to mess up. That's how you're going to learn what you need to do to be your best, strongest self. Don't be afraid of failing. It's an opportunity, she says. I think it would really help if you use your extra time during tests, even if you don't end up needing it. That way you won't feel rushed and you can stay focused on finishing instead of panicking and not getting to the next question. I want to be able to do that, I say, because I know I have to ask for the things I need, like Sam said. I'm pretty sure I can ask my teachers, but I don't think I can do it in front of everybody in the class. Maybe eventually, that just feels too hard right now. Well, that makes sense, Miss Curtis says. One approach might be to remind your teacher at the beginning of the period before the test starts you'll need extra time and sort out the logistics in advance. That way, you have the option, but you don't have to feel pressure to advocate for yourself in front of everyone while you're focused on finishing your test. I think about her idea for a few seconds. I'm pretty sure that would help. Good. She writes something in her notebook. I know it might be hard for you to see it this way right now, but especially when you're missing chess. But if you'd done better on your test, you might not have realized what you need to do in order to be successful. I know she's right. I think it might be better for me to take my test in a quiet room, maybe just for a little while or on days I'm feeling really distracted. Great idea. Miss Curtis writes that down too. You can always come to the Learning Center during tests and quizzes, and I'll let your teachers know about the additional accommodation. Thank you, I say. I'm pretty sure it's going to help. It's important for you to remember that what you need is going to change as you learn to manage your symptoms. Each day will be a little different. Is that a thing, I ask? Because I can kind of tell that some days are worse. Definitely. That's true for people without ADHD too. Some days we're more distracted than others. Oh yeah, duh, I said. That makes sense. I'm very impressed you came to see me today. It shows a lot of initiative, and I'm confident that if you continue to speak up and ask for the help you need, you'll grow a lot from the experience. Thanks to Miss Curtis, getting an F doesn't feel that bad anymore. It's a chance to turn everything around. I sprint outside and over to the pickup line because even though I know I did the right thing by going to see Miss Curtis, I still feel bad that I kept Mom waiting. Only when I get outside and see Red's car out in front, I freeze. I completely forgot Red's mom's picking me up today. I force myself to keep walking. I need to get in the car and act like everything's totally fine and we're best friends the way we were before this year started. Because that's what I want more than anything. Everything okay? Mrs. Levine asks as soon as I open the door and slide in. I'm sorry I'm late. I look at her in the mirror. It's okay, she says. What she really means is you're rude, and now she's late for her next appointment. Red doesn't turn to look at me. That's not what I mean. It really is okay, Clea, Mrs. Levine says. There are snacks if you're hungry. Thank you. Red turns up the music, and even though it's funk, which he hates, and opens the window like he doesn't even want to breathe the same air as me, cold wind whips against my face. When I get home, Mom and Henley are still out, so I let Hilda run around the backyard for a few minutes and make a snack, apple, banana, and peanut butter. My stomach's growling and I can tell I'm hungry, even if my brain's busy thinking about homework and how mad Mom's going to be that I got an F on my English test. I eat and work on science at the kitchen table. It's quiet, except for the wind rustling the big tree by the window. When I look up again, Mom's standing in front of me, holding up her phone to her ear with one hand. She has a box of freshly baked snickerdoodle cookies in the other. One of Henley's cartoons is playing in the family room. I didn't hear the garage door open and close, or Henley run in, take off her shoes and coat. I keep waiting for Mom to hang up so I can tell her about my test, and she can tell me how upset and disappointed she is in me. I just got home with Clea now, she says into the phone and then hands it to me. Dad wants to talk to you. Hi, Dad. My voice is soft. I sound more like Henley than me. Miss Curtis just called to tell she had a tough day, Dad says. Sorry, kiddo. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but you can turn things around. What if I can't? I ask. He pauses like he's thinking, You'll get back up and try again. It's not like before. We know what's going on now, and you have a lot of people rooting for you. All you have to do is ask for help. Okay, I say, because I know he's right, and it's different now. I'm not alone. Just keep working hard. I love you. I will. Love you too. I hang up and put the phone down on the counter. Mom wraps her arms all the way around me, holding on tight as she can, like she's afraid to let go. I might crumble, and guess I'm sort of scared of that too. I lean into her and rest my head on her shoulder, and she scratches my back, drawing circles and hearts and all the letters in my name until the alarm on my phone beeps. I switch it off. Mom tucks my hair behind my ear. So you know I got an F, I ask? She nods. I also know you went to Miss Curtis to ask her for help after school. I'm very impressed. You are? Sure, I mean I failed. No, you didn't. You showed us that you're not going to give up. I'm already missing 2 practices in a tournament. I don't want to miss anything else, and I know you're probably happy about that, but I'm not. That's not true, she says. If I'm being honest, I want you to have a break from trying to do everything all at once. But I don't want a break. My voice sounds strained. I know, Mom says. What I was going to say is it's hard to learn to balance priorities at every age. And even though I hate watching you struggle and all I want to do is make things easier for you, I know the best way for you to learn how to juggle the things that are important for you is to practice.